Alright guys, welcome to the Birchwood Mall here in Fort Garrett specifically, but more or less Port Huron. Let's go inside and let's go check it out, guys. Hello everybody, and like you guys heard, welcome to Fort Garrett Township, right outside of the Port Huron area here in Upper Michigan, well I should say Upper Eastern Michigan. And welcome to the beautiful Birchwood Mall. This mall is a really nice looking mall. That entrance you guys saw may be like my favorite part. I love the way that entrance with the all glass, whatever. You don't see too many malls that have that much like windows. You guys go to a lot of malls now. You guys can see on my channel. There's a few windows, but it's mostly just wall. This, you can see right in there. And I really like the food court too, and the way that floor is laid out as well. As I said, really nice mall. I enjoy my visit here. I wish I could have spent more time here, but as you guys have seen, I had a busy trip when I did a Michigan trip here in mid to late January. But anyway, on to the history of this mall. This mall opened in April 1991, with the original anchors being Target, Sears, JCPenney, and Wisconsin-based department store chain Perrines, if I said that right, as its opening anchor stores. Upon opening, this mall was a very big draw for the Canadian shoppers, as this area is only a couple miles from the Canadian border, and specifically the town of Sarnia, Ontario, on the Blue Water Bridge. Now, the following year after this mall opened, the Perrine chain was acquired by Yonkers, as I mentioned, in 1992, and all their stores that were rebranded, including this one. Now, 3 years later, there'd be another anchor added to this mall, is Detroit-based Hudson's. You guys have seen them from the other Macy's stores in Detroit, and we'll get there how it becomes that. But it announced it'd be adding a store to the mall, and this store opened in 1997. Also, during the late 90s, there was a Old Navy added as a junior anchor. So this mall had a lot of big names its first, 10 years of life, and that's a good start to a mall. It wouldn't obviously last. There would be some changes, and we'll get there. But later on, Dunham Sports, Chuck E. Cheese were also added to the mall, but the Chuck E. Cheese would close in 2014. As you guys know, Chuck E. Cheese has really been on a downward decline for many years, so not all that surprising, and this is kind of far up there. Now, also a little side note, there was a Lowe's added nearby to this mall. It really didn't do much. There isn't too many stores around here that really could be affected by that. I just figured I'd throw that in there because it's listed here. Now, in 2001, like I mentioned, Hudson's-based department stores changed their name as the Dayton Hudson Corporation, which is now Target, changed the name of their stores over to Marshall Field's. And then, of course, 5 years later, the Marshall Field's name went away as the May department stores merged with Federated Department Stores and converted all their stores, except for their Bloomingdale's, over to Macy's. Now, the Old Navy closed a year later in 2007, but the space would later be filled by the Rainbow Shops, and that space is now Planet Fitness. In January 2013, the Yonkers store changed its name again, this time becoming Carson's. That's very interesting. You didn't see too many of these Bonton branded stores, as at this time that whole company was part of Bonton. You did not see too many that just changed names. But, of course, this one did, but it wouldn't last. In January 13th, 2016, the first major hit Canadian Mall as one of the anchor stores, Sears, was planning to close its doors as part of the plan to close, multiple stores, and Sears, as we know, is almost completely gone at this point. But at the time, it was an original anchor, so it's sad to see this go. Now, there are no current plans, particular retail space still to this day. We'll see. Only time will tell. I'm hoping they get something in there. It's been almost 9 years now. Now, in March 2016, the Carmike Cinemas announced the closure of the movie theater for the remodeling. Which they did remodel. It would last 2 weeks. And then a couple years later, it would become the AMC, which you guys just saw in that last clip. Now, in 2016, a Five Below went in the former Chuck E. Cheese. So at least this mall, even though you guys see quite a few vacancies and national chains have left, at least for the most part, most of their big spots have at least, they've gotten occupied, and many of them have become national chains. So that is a good sign. But 2018, though, was a really bad year for this mall, as 2 of their department stores left. The first one was announced in January that Macy's would be closing as part of a plan to close 11 stores nationwide. That store closed in March. And then, of course, you guys know that in April, the parent company of Carson Perry Scott's, which was the Bonton Corporation, filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy protection and closed all their locations, including this one. So, not good to see 2 anchors, be really empty at this time. But the good news is both those anchors would become filled. As the Carson space later became Dunham Sports, which you guys will see. So at least that's retail and use the mall gate. But the Macy's sadly became a storage facility, which fortunately does not use the mall gate. But at least it's occupied. I'd rather see that than be empty, even though it would be cool to have mall access. But we know storage doesn't do that. Now, when Carson's closed, the mall only had 2 of its 5 anchor spaces filled at the time, which was JCPenney and Target. And the good news is both those anchors still remain and are still doing strong. So even though this mall has lost many chains, including the FYE, which you guys see in this video, it was closing when I was here, and I actually was able to score a handbasket. Pretty cool. But it is now gone. So even though a lot of national chains have left, I wouldn't say this mall is dead or completely done for. I mean, it is definitely struggling. You guys can see there's quite a few vacancies. Now, to be fair with the amount of people that was here, I was here towards the evening. It was around, around 6 o'clock, 5, 6 o'clock. So it wasn't a super busy time for the mall. But still, you guys can see, already, down this little wink here, there's a few vacancies and a few things that are not open. So what the future holds for this mall, I don't know. With the current owners, which is currently Kohan Retail Investment, albeit they've spun it off to Summit Properties, but it's basically the same company. It's just another name for Kohan, kind of like Eddie does the Surges Growth and the Transform Co. But what the future holds for this mall, as I said, it's just unknown. I think it's going to stay around for at least a little while longer with those 2 big anchors. Target is not struggling and JCPenney's not struggling. That does help. And to still have 2 basically department stores. I mean, I know some people don't consider Target a department store. I basically do, because it has all the same product that you see at JCPenney, Macy's. Just the only thing it really doesn't have is as much perfume and jewelry. But still, it really is a full-service department store. But I really think this mall is going to hang around for a while. It may continue to lose some more national chains. It may get filled by some more local tenants. But, only time will tell. And maybe in a couple of years I'll be back here. You guys know on this channel I usually come back to malls every couple of years and try to do update videos. We'll see. I don't want to make any promises. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking here in a second, so maybe the rest of the video. I hope you guys enjoy the look here at the Birchwood Mall here in Port Huron, Michigan. If you guys do enjoy, you all know the drill. Make sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned what I got next. I got tons of videos, still some more from the Michigan trip. I'm starting to get low, but I still got some more from the Michigan trip. And then, of course, I got videos from the Philadelphia and New Jersey trip in February coming up, so stay tuned for those as well. But anyway, as I mentioned, I'm going to sign off and throw music in. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye, guys.